Hey guys, I'm Chua from Isaac in Australia TMEST of 2018, and today I'll be talking to you guys about Personal Development Plan, or PDP for short. And this slide will be detailing how to properly implement PDP in your LC, and I'll also be showcasing the tool that you guys will be using to implement PDP. Alright, so I'll be just quickly run through the slides. Okay, so number one, why do we need PDP? It's really simple. The objective of PDP in the end of the day is try to align members' personal development goals with the organizational goals, so that when they're striving for their organizational goals, they are also developing themselves through the process, which gives them a more holistic experience in terms of their membership experience, and it also increases their engagement because they are contributing to not just themselves but also to something greater as an organization. And because they're constantly improving themselves through operations, their talent capacity are constantly being developed, and hence in the future they will be more competent to either take on more responsibilities or strive for higher goals for the organization. So that's the concept of PDP in a nutshell. In terms of how do we do PDP, three major aspects. Number one, we need to first learn how to align personal and functional goals. Number two, we need to understand how to do one-to-ones effectively. And number three, we need to learn how to use the tools that we prepare for you guys effectively. So in terms of the first one, aligning personal and functional goals, I'm going to go into more detail here because it's kind of difficult. The concept, the philosophy of Isaac in terms of member development is very simple. Members do operations, and those operations normally have a couple of skills or competencies that is really required in certain aspects of operations. Hence, when members do those particular operations, they'll be challenged to improve those particular skills, and hence because they are constantly challenged to improve those skills, they will improve those skills while doing operations and also achieve the goals they strive for by the end of it. To put a more concrete example, let's say now we have Peter, who is an OGX member, and his functional goal is to achieve 2 applicants by the end of this month, let's say. And so he has that goal. And then he mentioned that, okay, you know what? I want to try to improve my pitching skills in order to hit the 2 applicants. So the first question to consider is what in OGX operation requires a lot of pitching? Stalls, right? So we can recommend Peter say, hey, how about you attend more stalls and be more proactive in stalls in order to be able to pitch to more people, and hence you get more practice and improve your pitching skills from that, right? And when Peter does that, he is not just improving his own pitching skills, but because he's talking to so much people in stalls, he's getting so much sign-ups, his chances of getting 2 applicants also increases as a result. And that's how we align their personal and functional goals together, so that when they achieve their personal goals, they also achieve their functional goals at the end. In terms of the one-to-ones, it's not actually prepared by me, but by my colleague Michelle. So she actually prepared a really comprehensive guide into how to prepare for one-to-one, and the link is here. Feel free to check it out. And last and finally, using the individual workspace to execute PDP. So using individual workspace, it can be easily broken down into 5 major steps. Number one, first you need to understand your members in terms of who they are, what are their goals, their ambitions, their strengths and weaknesses, and what they want to develop in Isaac especially. So that's number one. Number two, you outline their functional goals with them. So you show them, okay, this is your functional goals, this is what you need to achieve by the end of this month. And then as the example I gave, what do you want to develop in order to achieve that goal, right? And after you know what they want to develop, then you set up their action steps for them throughout the months in terms of, okay, what part of operations you're going to focus on in order to achieve those goals that you set for yourselves. Alright, so that's step 3. And then after you got all those tangible steps that you're going to do, so they say, okay, I'm going to focus on pitching, I'm going to focus in attending stalls, be more proactive in stalls, then you set out a timeline for them. So it's like, okay, you want to improve in stalls. So first you need to have product knowledge, and then you need to learn GCPs from your peers or for your TLs, So you kind of map that in a timeline so the members can see, oh, what's happening every month, every week, what I have to do every week to be able to achieve. And last and finally, after they got all those done, it will be more about, as their TL, we will have to support them properly. So in terms of, it could be emotional support, functional support, educational support, whatever support they need, it's up to us to deliver to them. So that's basically the concept. How do we implement PDP using the tool? I'll explain that more in detail later. And after this part, it will be about what's everybody's role in executing PDPs. And last and finally, it would be some examples and about how to execute PDP to paint a better picture. So first one would be the PDP plan in terms of what to talk about with the member, how to plan it out. And then next is two member profiles with different functions and different personal development plans they want to achieve, and how would it look like using the tools, and what's the description it will kind of look, what the description kind of look like. So the first one is an OGX member, and you can kind of see that. And the next one is a MAC TL, where this is smart, I can explain it later, and this is the goals that's actually strive for. So that is the presentation in a nutshell, and really quickly through the individual workspace. So this workspace actually planned to be a workspace where the members will be doing all their personal development stuff all up on here, and it's everything in the same place, so there's less confusion overall. So first page is a summary of who this member is. So name, role, portfolio, what's their color personality, and the link to the test is here, and key inferences when you're discussing the color personality alongside the guiding questions within the guide. You can ask them and see what they say, what they feel about it, any general thoughts about it. You can kind of write it down, just kind of better paint a picture of who they are based on their personality. And of course, there's also the MBTI link is here, same thing with color personality. After that, we can go through the career plan in terms of what's their goals and ambitions for within Isaac and outside Isaac. You can also kind of ask about, oh, you want to achieve this? What do you need to do to achieve that? What have you been doing to achieve that? So these are the things that we can suss out in the career plan part. After that, it's more about a start of, especially for new members, a start of their Isaac experience. So first things first, get their LDA results, get them to do their LDA. And after they got the results, evaluate the results with them. There are guiding questions in the guide. So LDA inferences, so what do they think about the results, what they feel like they should do, how do they feel like they should go about improving it, and the results of this discussion would dictate what qualities, what LDQ they will be focusing on, leadership qualities they will be focusing on throughout the term to develop throughout the term. So that's the idea of this. Next, it can be a short discussion about what's their strengths, weaknesses, any opportunities they have faced with that lets them express their strengths, and any threats that may hamper them from reaching their full potential. So that's something to discuss about. And some final guiding question to kind of cap it all off. How do they feel about joining Isaac, what they're expecting, and who they want to be by the end of their term. Alright, and then here comes the important part, which is the personal development plan, and it's kind of split across months, like it just goes down every month. So first things first, you set it up here. So these two major things is number one, what is their MOS by the end of the term, and what is the MOS by this current month. So for example, as the example I've given, 2 applicants, right? And then after that, after they know what they need to achieve by the end of the month, we ask them, so what competence or skill do you think you need to develop to be able to achieve that? And the competence skill is over here actually, functional skills breakdown. You can you and your member can actually refer to this in terms of what portfolio they are in, what competencies they are looking for, and what is the description of the skill that every member, TL, VP, LCP, that needs to have to be able to achieve. So you can kind of base your discussion off this and land upon a particular competency and a skill to improve for the current month. And you kind of input it here. It's all Dropbox, so it should be pretty straightforward. And also kind of outline how you can go about achieving or learning that skill or improving upon that skill. And after you got 3 of them, you select one of them, the most relevant one or the most important one your member wants to focus on, and put them and lay them out on the SMART model. So the idea of this is to outline number one, what's the specific skill or competence they want to improve on, and when they have improved it, how will it look like? And for the measurable part, tie it back to their ultimate MOS. So in terms of the example I've given before, the specific skill they want to develop is pitching in stores. And how is it measurable? They get more sign-up installs. They also get their 2 applicants by the end of the month, correct? And Actionable is more about what can they do in operations to actively learn, actively develop that particular skill or competency. So in terms of the example I gave before, attend more stalls, be more proactive in stalls, try to talk to more people in stalls, correct? And relevant kind of outline why is developing this specific skill relevant to their work. And timely, it should be a month, because since PDP normally lasts a month. And after you get your actionable, it's time to lay them out on the action steps tracker. So lag goals will be more of the functional goals in terms of number of opens, number of applicants, and stuff like that. While lead goals is more about tasks that a member would do to try to achieve the lag goals, like how many stalls they've attended, how many CCs that's hosted, and how many people that have talked that stall, approached that stalls, how many sign-ups that attain that stalls and stuff like that. So it's more about things that the member can control, and these are the things that normally these are the things that is from the actionable part of it. It's what members will do in operations to achieve their lag goals and of course their MOS by the end of the month. So outline them, and yep, so that's basically how you set up the PDP. After you got your goals and stuff, you can go ahead into the individual timeline and outline what they have to do throughout to achieve that, and keep in mind to also kind of plan out when they have to learn about a particular thing, do a particular thing, and also evaluate their performance. So learn is more about learning about the knowledge associated with the task. Doing is more about learning by doing, and evaluate is looking at their performance and discussing about way forwards of how they can improve what they have done, or if they have not achieved it, how can they do better in the near future. So this is the concept of individual timeline. So what I've said just so is you already set up their development plan, know what they need to strive for, already set out their timeline about what they need to do. Last and finally, as I said before, it's the support part, and it involves a fortnightly check-in to see how members are doing. Are they achieving their goals? Are they having difficulty in achieving their goals? And if they are, maybe ask them about what kind of support that you can give or give them to make them able to achieve more effectively or better and stuff like that. So that's something to kind of keep in contact with them. It's more of a fortnightly meeting, so you have this PDP meeting, like you set up the PDP at the start of the month. At the middle of the month, you will check in with them and see how they're doing and the more support they need. And by the end of the month, you'll be doing a debriefing session with them. So the guiding questions are all here. So debriefing is more about looking at the goals versus actuals of their task. Have they achieved it? Have they not? Discuss about what are they satisfied with the experience? What's their biggest learning? How they feel like they could have done better? How they feel like the TL could have supported better and stuff like that. So that is more of the review that we do by the end of the month with them in accordance to not just their goals versus actuals, but also their experience with us throughout the month. So that next month when we do this all over again, we have a better understanding of what can we do better to achieve. So debriefing, any general thoughts of the month the members may have, and of course also feedbacks from you, from the team leader to the member, can be written here, and from the member to the team leader. And it should be done in a keep sort start method. So keep whatever have been done well this month, you want to keep it and move it forward to next month. Stop whatever that you do, you're not really happy about it, you want it to stop, note it down, and whatever you want that you think it would be nice to have, anything you want to start, any initiative you want to start, or any behaviors you want to start, you can also drop it down so that next month you're more aware and can be actively try to implement that next month. And after you got all of this, the debriefing details, any general thought, any general feedbacks, with all this in mind, it's time to start the cycle again and set down the PDP for March. So that is, in a nutshell, how do we use the individual workspace to make PDP. So yep, I hope that's not too much information. I feel like there may be. I try to make it as concise as possible, but if there's any questions, feel free to bump me an email to ask for clarification. I'll be more than happy to arrange a time to speak to you guys. Alright, that is all from me. Thank you.